Oh, man. Thank you, Michael.
Now then,
Classy.
if this was a ship,
You would smash it
we'd
against.
smash this on the amps.
Right.
Only the best Sainsbury's Prosecco will do.
Sainsbury's.
It's nearly champagne.
That'll do.
This... Oh, look at that. Lovely. This is for Catherine. Simon has got a drink. Dan's got a drink. Cheers, one and all.
I can't believe we're here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, one and all. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Simon.
Happy days.
So welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here. Hello. Let's get on with it.
Awesome. First sounds ever in the new That Pedal Shed 2.0,
Whatever we're
That
gonna
Pedal
call it.
Barn, That Pedal Coliseum, That Pedal
Yeah.
Universe.
It may have a name. It may have a name that's inspired by our new look. So, right, what we're going to do in this first show from that pedal thing that we haven't called yet is just lots of people have asked for this, by the way. Talk you through some of what we've done to get here and how we've arrived at this.
Yeah, it's been a
thing.
journey.
Timeline, it is now Wednesday. Mm-hmm. We've been setting up for the whole day because today was the first time we put any of this stuff in. Mm-hmm. And it's now 5:15, so it's taken us all day to set up.
5:15?
Yeah.
Wow.
And get the audio rigged and do all of that. So, yeah. Hang on, I've just got to click a button on here, which goes, show me where I am. Which I believe is this one. Yes. Please tell me the audio is recording. Yes, it is. You know when everything's new and you're just a bit kind of...
It's full on.
Oh my goodness, is it working?
And even just the sound of your voice in here is
Yeah.
so different because what we've done and which you'll see, so it covered everything in, what do you call this fabric?
Theatre cloth.
Theatre cloth. So the sound, there's no reflections. So you can hear, it's like being
Yeah.
in a quiet room. It's amazing.
Far fewer reflections. And I actually think we might end up hanging some panels just to get a bit of reflection.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I like it because, so the sound we just heard is a wet, dry, wet rig.
Watch next week's show.
Watch next week's show because we're going to do a show about the last show we ever filmed in the old place. We took out, we just built the dream rig, right? Tape delays, Echo Rex, vintage fuzzers, and it all went on. 3 amps, 2 rock,
It was insane.
Hampstead, vintage AC30, and it was the most mega sound ever. And if you haven't watched that, it's worth going to see that because it's a very special sound.
Yeah.
And so many people said, it sounds incredible, but I don't have a spare 30 grand kicking around for that rig. What can I do?
By the way, the 30 grand included the guitars.
Okay.
So
Yeah, sure.
I was playing
okay.
a 6 grand Collings and you were playing that, which is about 9,000 quid straight off the bat. So so it wasn't quite 30 grand, but it was still 20 grand, which is still a lot of money for a guitar rig.
Of course. And some of you who really enjoyed that sound said, how can we possibly achieve this? So we're going to have a look at that next week. So it's basically, we've set up for that show because there's a lot to go through the wet, dry, wet thing, and as far as signal path and that sort of thing is concerned. But we wanted to give you guys a taste of what it's taken us to get to this point.
And hear it for ourselves, because literally 1 hour ago was the first guitar sound that had ever been played in here with it all decked out.
Yeah. So I'm having Schwang on red, and Simon and Mick are walking around just seeing if, because we've done a basic level of soundproofing in here.
Yeah, a stage one really.
And the guys are walking around, the studio trying to see what it's like outside. And I'm nervously waiting in here because we've got we're playing at this level because the issues that we had at the last place. And here's the thing, it's been such incredible amount of work to get it set up like this. And for the first noise that we make, and I'm going, please God, please make it work, please make it be okay.
There is the possibility that we'll have to have it all out, insulate the roof. I think that day might come. However, sorry, we'll skip over this bit relatively quickly. We went outside, walked around, and if you stand a few meters away from the building and you're chatting to your person that you're with, that was way too complicated. God, I'm tired, man. It has been, what did I say? It's Wednesday today. It's been 2 weeks tomorrow. And
Right.
they have been every single day sawing, cleaning, putting things together. I am wiped. And you've been doing gigs and you've been down driving backwards and forth.
Yeah, I haven't. So I've been here for like 5 days, whereas Mick has done the majority of the heavy lifting. Mick and Simon,
Because we live right nearby.
Yeah, I've been away. I've been away with Biffy Clyro.
You so have.
Come on, I was. Look, I have so many stories and I'm dying to tell them. But so I've been away working with those guys, working on a soundtrack that they're working on. I'm just helping Simon out, and you'll see that my AC30 isn't here and my the J20 isn't here either. And because at the moment they're in Monmouth Studios.
They're all over Simon's soundtrack.
They're all over Simon's soundtrack.
Yeah, so if you're outside and we're banging away, I mean, we haven't got 100 watt amp cranked yet, so I don't know quite how that's going to be. But if you're talking to somebody, you then can't hear it. If a car goes past on the road, you can't hear the sound coming out. So,
okay, all right. Oh, please, Lord, please.
fingers crossed, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And for everyone who wants to comment, 2 things now. One is, I really preferred the old place. Please don't write that. Because this is the first time we put lights up today. I think it looks banging.
I love it.
So we all love what we're familiar with, but the old place is gone. And I prefer this.
Yeah, I was in there this morning getting some stuff out. It's a mess. It's
I have to come and help you.
panels off the. No, it's fine because I've got. We're gonna, we're gonna paint the wood and deck
cool.
it out for a new area.
Nice.
But it's weird being in there and seeing nothing on the wall, just that the dark yellow wood that Simon would have a mare with like every week.
How much happier are you with the grey, Simon?
The yellowest thing now in the video is me, except for maybe probably me.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a quick look at how we got here.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Before we do, Dan, play the guitar and see because I'm interested to see how the room sounds back through the mics.
Okay.
Honestly, we're live testing on you guys, so apologies for that, but it's the best way to do it.
Okay.
Just to explain, we've got Fender Hot Rod Deluxe, Fender Blues Junior, and a Vox AC15, which you can hear in a wet, dry, wet rig on a sensible budget next week.
Can I just say one thing that's really interesting? It's all coming from the back, and it's like this wave. Instead of hearing everything from everywhere, do you ever get those when you're doing a gig and you do a sound check, and it's this big echoey mess, and then all the people come in, and it's like, and it suddenly becomes like this is like a really great stage sound.
Yeah.
But nothing coming from the front. No reflections coming from the front. I really dig it. I'm hearing everything so clearly.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's quite funny. It takes a bit of getting used to because obviously we were so used to the sound in the room.
It's a completely different sound.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because we had wood all down the sides and a hard end wall, so there's reflection everywhere there.
Yeah.
I think I might get a couple of panels and we'll have a listen and see.
Okay. But I'm digging it.
You like it?
I'm really liking it.
It's dry, isn't
I'm
it?
liking it. It's dry, and because of the dryness, I can hear the detail.
Yeah.
And so I'm hearing the slightly granular delay from the Booner in the right-hand side, the thicker delay from the Echoplex pedal, but it's really clear.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get used to this really quick.
I wonder if we'll end up running things slightly wetter as a result.
Ooh, cool. Yeah. So,
okay.
look,
So right, how did it begin? We found this place kind of by accident. Came in to have a look at it, and it was like, "Yep, that'll work."
just a little bit before that. So, in case you don't know, so from the last place, we recorded decent volume. That's loads of people ask us why do the guitars sound really good on your show? And because we record it, we have real amps, mics, and we turn them up so the amps are working. We do very little as far as any after work magic that it's basically
just 18,000 plugins.
There you go.
No.
However, to get the amps sounding like that, you've got to turn them up. And the last place, basically we got away for it. We got away with it for like a couple of years.
I can't believe we got away with it for so long.
Yeah. But it got to a point where we had to move, and it was really hard. We there was we looked at a few places, but you've either got a warehouse or you've got like an office.
And
Neither.
not much in between.
Yeah, nothing. And what we're looking for is basically smack bang in the middle. So Mick stumbled across this place.
Yeah, which is closer to me than it is to Dan. So Simon and I have been doing the drive for a couple of years now. Dan's
My turn.
Dan's having to pony up for the drive.
Yeah, but I don't mind.
It's good.
It's a beautiful. It's a lovely drive.
Yeah. So let's make this brief. What did we do? We hired a van. We're on the road to Swindon. Hey! Moment of truth, all the doors shut. Get in. The pedal show. Do 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 do.
So it is 10:20. There is nothing in here. Morning.
Morning.
We have some rock wool. There's a big space up here where there is currently no door. Sans door.
That's right, I'll put this.
And here it is, a new space. Oh man, look at that!
This is the first time Dan's seen the rig. For anyone who thinks 10:30 is a late start, we were going a little bit earlier than that.
What time did you guys kick off?
7,
Okay.
maybe. But we were in last night doing a bit of painting and stuff as well.
I got to bed at 4:30.
So yeah, this is where that pedal barn is going to be, if that's what we end up calling it. So the next time you see this, we'll be partway through building this. Bought from my ex-employer, Future Publishing, who no longer have need for it.
So the first bit of guitar gear I see is a warehouse guitar speaker box sat on the corner. And that's literally the only thing at the moment.
There won't be anything guitar-y here for a few days yet.
So studio roof. And then blues, and then, oh man, this is awesome.
This will be our stock room where the t-shirts get processed and picked and packed and stored and all of that. So.
Fabulous. Okay, let's get stuck in.
Price underlay and group on selected stock carpets, including clearance ranges.
Man things.
Manly men doing manly things.
Dad's going to build a door today. 2 doors, in fact.
2 doors.
On our noise room in order to limit the noise. He's drawn a diagram.
Done a plan. It's a door. Taking away our secrets.
I like driving in my van. It's not quite a Jagu van. I didn't vote for this. It's a big day when you go from working on your kitchen table or your spare room desk to this. That's Catherine. If you ever bought a t-shirt, likelihood is she's picked and packed it.
This is epic.
Among many other essential things that keep us alive. So there we go, those will be the that pedal desks.
Have you got beer?
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that, see? 610mm, exactly. Nailed it! So, yeah, you'll see in the middle of the room a massive pile of aluminium. And it was like it was made for this place.
Well, yeah, we had to, it comes in sections and we sort of laid it out like Meccano. It was like being 12 again. Mm-hmm. Laid it out, put it up, and that's what you can see in the time-lapse video, and everything hangs off that. The plan, what did we do next? We built the back wall.
The back wall, did the doors.
Oh yeah, doors. Dan did the doors. Just go and have a quick check-up on how Dan's doors are coming along. Daniel, how are the doors coming along?
Michael, they're well hung, mate.
Very nice.
Look at that. There's a man with a power tool. He's Australian all the way to his bones, isn't he? Look at him. What was his name? Henry in Neighbours?
We've been watching, after the stuff at the last place, we've been watching all these videos about how to soundproof on a budget.
I was getting more and more and more and more
Depressed.
depressed the more videos I watched.
Because it's so full on.
Oh, man.
But one advantage we do have in this place is we do have, we don't have a, this room isn't, there's not a neighbour right next door.
It's isolated by 2 rooms before you get to any neighbour.
Exactly. Now the doorway that goes to the main outside bit, there's quite a thick wall, and I thought we'll put double doors there, and we'll make it sort of so there's basically a vacuum. So I built a frame, got the doors up, planed them down, just made them really nice and snug and tight, and that was a day.
It's effective.
It's effective. It's great because you go in there, like you can shut the doors and it's pitch black, but it's that feeling in a vacuum when you pull the door shut and you feel your ears go a bit of extra pressure. It's great. So that's really cool.
There's quite a lot of manual stuff, wasn't there? I mean, we didn't get anyone in to do any work. Simon helped massively. Catherine helped with painting and stuff. So we made this background out of tongue and groove. You can see a bit about that now. Okay, when did we last talk to you? Not really sure, but it's Sunday today, 4:30 on a Sunday. I think Dan showed you the rig being up. These windows are going to get blocked in. So they'll be blocked in with this acoustic plasterboard and some other acoustic materials. Door. AC, get on. Right, next stage is behind the rig is going to sit this tongue and groove boarding stuff that we can paint. It won't be the same colour as the last place because it's problematic with our skin tones. So it's going to be this grey colour. And Catherine is just getting ready to start painting. Here it is, the inaugural paint. Get on! We'll come back in a bit. You were talking about the new saw.
The new saw?
The chop saw.
Oh, man. So, I've used those on timber loads, but then on the side of the box, it says, can be used on 3mm steel.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, okay. And you cut these up, cut the flipping...
Yeah.
So this is aluminium, and I can sort of understand aluminium.
You can basically bite through aluminium.
Exactly.
Important cutting work to be done. We've got some poles, they're 5 metres long, but we don't quite have 5 metres, so... Said poles. The risk of a comedy to you to me moment. Now it says on the packet that this saw will cut metal. It says it will cut steel. Quite a lot of aluminium filings going around now. I'm very glad I wore safety goggles. Big shout out to the metal store. I think they're up north somewhere in the UK, and they do this kind of steel scaffolding stuff that you can you put together yourself. Took a bit of cleaning, had to white spirit it all off, but anyway, the tops of the shelves there are old, actually new scaffold boards
that have been sanded down and painted.
That was a fun trip. Check this out. Greetings from Wickes.
Oh, hello.
There we go. Wickes. They're not paying for this. We've come to buy some scaffolding boards for some shelves that we're building, and then we have a slight problem. We knew they wouldn't fit in the car, so we came equipped with a sawing device, but we don't have a pencil to mark it accurately so the cut can be straight. So
I must have a pencil.
in the most exciting update yet, I'm going to buy a pencil.
So there we go. I've completely voided my Kaja warranty, and by using my my car as a utility vehicle.
Yeah, it was beeping as you were sawing.
It was. I had no idea what that was about.
Yeah, I was hoping there might be a message on the dashboard. Do not saw on the back of this car. Anyway, yeah. So lots of manual stuff, which is great actually, because you just feel a connection with it.
Oh yeah, and looking at it now, it's like it's quite easy to forget when you're sat here. Oh, flipping heck, there's been so much work gone into
DIY
this.
SOS would have done this in like 8 minutes.
Yeah, but they have an army.
Yeah, of skilled people. Here we are again then, working to the dulcet tones of Terry Reid. We're just filling in the windows, and what we've done, and we don't know if this is going to work or not, but we're going to try. Simon is using Auralex acoustic sealant. This stuff.
No other sealant will do.
Yeah, apparently. And what we've done is we've made panels out of acoustic plasterboard, plywood, rock wool, and mass-loaded vinyl, which is this really horrible, like bitumen-y plastic stuff. I had a bit hanging around here somewhere. Anyway, it's a really dense plastic, horrible stuff, and it weighs about 58,000 tons, roughly. Oh, there's a bit. This stuff comes on huge sheets. Yeah, so we've made panels out of that, and then they all get sealed in and around the windows. And we're hoping that will noise-proof the windows. Now, what you'll also notice is the windows have fair depth on them. So Simon's cousin Dom, who's a very talented engineer and mixing person and sound person in general, told us that if all the sound comes through the wall and just goes straight through out there, you could do all the soundproofing you wanted in the world on the window and it wouldn't make any difference. So this is, it's a little bit hit and hope, but I guess we call it stage one. So yeah, there we go. That's stage one of the panels. Simon doing some awesome work there.
So you had told me your plan to do the windows, and I went away, I was gone for a couple of days, came back and you'd done them, which I was so impressed with. They look fantastic.
Thanks, mate.
Very cool. But we've got that rock wool stuff, and we've used that in the panels inside the door and the panels inside the window.
As we said, so acoustic plasterboard, mass-loaded vinyl, rock wool. I have to say I'm not a massive fan of anything that's there to stop the rock, but you know. In we go with that. This is really horrible stuff. Just disgusting glassy fibre or something, some fibre that just makes me itch looking at the stuff. In there like that. Finally, piece of plywood with some of this car insulation on the back. I don't know if that's going to make any difference whatsoever, but it kind of makes me feel better to have another layer. So if I've cut this right, that should fit. Oh, look at that! Look at that! And then that will get filled in around the edges and painted with a nice, something nice. Mick here, hello. Okay, this is an update because I've realised we've recorded a few of these. It is now, let's see, whatever that says, 7:25 on Sunday night. We moved in a week ago on Thursday, so we've been here a week and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a week and 3 days. The pick and pack room for the t-shirts is ready. The office is ready to go because Catherine and I run our business from here as well. We share the premises. That helps share some cost. And so, as you can see, I filled the windows in. We filled the windows in. They have, you've seen that in a previous thing. Finished building the background today. That is tongue and groove, slat stuff, rather precariously kind of held to the rig using standoffs and cable ties. So need to be careful about how much weight we put on that. And the reason I wanted to make this video today is because I've made the realization that we are not going to be able to film on Tuesday. We don't have the cloth that goes over the top. And I had a real heart-sinking moment today where I was painting in the windows that had very carefully been put in with everything you've seen to try and get some soundproofing. And as I was painting them in, I very clearly heard the sound of next door's farm coming in glorious detail straight through the roof and the ceiling. So we're a long way from soundproof. So we're going to see what happens and how much anybody is annoyed by that noise. It's a working farm, so we're hoping that it won't be. Our neighbours are pretty much insulated because they're all in the opposite direction and the roof doesn't go in their direction, if that makes sense. So fingers crossed, but it was that kind of heart sinking, oh no, you know, we've done whatever we've done to get this far. Actually, it's going to be another few grand to do it out properly like a studio. Fingers crossed we don't have to do that, because if we have to do that, we're off the air for a while. And that is just, well, that's annoying. So there you go. I thought I'd share that. 7:30 on Sunday night. I'm going home. This has been the earliest finish for 7 days now. So I'm going to go home, have a drink, see my wife, and come back tomorrow with a fresher mind. Dan's coming tomorrow. That should cheer me up. You join us at a momentous moment. We've decided on our kind of basic display, which is these metal shelves that we've just built. These things which are going to change colour, which you saw us sawing off on the back of Dan's car.
Uber workbench.
Yeah. We're going to have a display of heads across the top, combos and cabs underneath, and we're putting up that pedal shelves. And there is the first one that's gone on the back wall. We might paint them. We might paint them grey. Don't know, but I I don't have anything to cheers you with, so I'll cheers you with this rat
Cheers,
pedal.
bud.
Cheers, mate.
Nice.
And this is the careful placement, which involves sort of standing back a bit and going, yeah, left a bit, right a bit. You'll also notice we use tone-approved power tools here. Paul Gilbert is actually sponsored by MkII. Did you know that?
Is he really?
Yeah.
No.
To do his, to do his plectrumy drill thing.
Oh man,
So,
that's fantastic.
I couldn't have any other drill after that.
Who could sponsor us? Let's.
Well, Bunnings after the
Bunnings.
amount of money we've given them this week, but they've gone bust. So sorry, Bunnings. Yeah, so there we go. You get some idea of what it's going to look like.
Get in.
Right, as has been explained in previous instalments, the whole of the rig is going to be encased in like theatre curtain. This red stuff we got when we bought the rig, it came with it, so we don't want to see any red really, so this is going to go down behind the thing at the back like this, hopefully. We've done one already semi-successfully. Cool. See you soon. Ooh, I am the ghost of that pedal barn. That was lame. Giant toilet roll holder, 2 Bob Burt cabs there. Nice. And here's our theatre cloth, which is going to go all the way over. Yeah, so this cloth came on a giant toilet roll.
Ah.
Yeah. I wish I could name JC somebody or other. We got it from a theatrical supplier.
Right.
And if you buy, so we needed 50 metres of 1.8 wide to cover all of this.
That's 50 metres, people. That's 150 yards. 50 yards, 150 feet.
Because it's 10 metres up, over and down. So 5 bits. That's my
7 parsecs.
my maths led me that far. Anyway, they give you one price for that. But if you buy the whole roll, so they don't have to get it out and measure it, it's much cheaper. So we bought the whole roll.
Right.
So we've got another.
Do we have some left?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, considerable amount actually.
Okay.
So that's
That's my
goes
curtain sorted.
that goes up and over and gives us the blackout, and also doesn't really do much of an acoustic job. Not as much as I'd hoped.
Could we double it up?
Not now. The
That
front
ship
and the
has
back are
sailed.
doubled up, and they're
Okay.
at least twice as thick. They're the
Right.
ones we got with the rig. So
Okay.
yeah, so it just encases us in here and does an acoustic job and makes it look nice. I can't see if I'm recording or not because Dan's just texted me. I am recording. Dan's just texted me to say, how's it going? This is how it's going. We've just got the first load of cloth over. You just saw the Bob Burt Cab's giant toilet roll holder.
Trademark.
Tell you what, Simon, come back here. There's a lovely vignette going on the old background there. Ooh.
Leave the fluorescent tube in.
So so this is what's going to happen. You've got this stuff all the way across the top and all the way down the sides, just to give us some blackout.
All the way down to the back.
Yeah, and it will deaden the sound of the room off a bit as well. Although we've just discovered that it offers pretty much zero acoustic benefit in terms of dB reduction. So anyway, there we go. Check this out. That's much better, isn't it?
Right, what was next?
Bunnings.
Bunnings. Again? You can always say Bunnings is next because
Yeah.
there's been 17.
Bunnings, the unfortunate Australian-owned DIY chain, which in where we live,
You don't let an Australian
where we are,
take charge of anything.
where we
It's
are,
always a mistake.
it was a home base, and then it became a Bunnings, and then literally a week later, it's going to be a home base again because they've gone out of business.
That was £700 million well spent.
Well, we spent nearly that in there, for goodness sake. I think I'm on their CCTV now as I go in there. Today we were joking. I was like, well, maybe it's the 4th trip to Bunnings today.
Today, yeah, right.
yeah. But that's poor planning, really, isn't it? And not knowing what you're going to need next. I think the relief is starting to come out now. I've started to realise where we are.
Right.
We did actually buy a couple of Neumann microphones as well, but not going to use them
No.
yet because I just want to.
Okay.
I want to get my ears around what we're hearing in here before we bring those into the mix.
But we visited Matt Schofield in the studio,
We did.
and he was using your Two-Rock,
My Two Rock, yeah.
the loudest.
On his new
That was the
album.
loudest amp I've ever heard live. Stood in front of. I couldn't believe it. And one thing that I've always known, people struggle with is having that really high sound pressure level, SPL, for people in the biz. Some microphones really struggle with that.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think it's just a microphone. I think it's room. I think it's everything. The louder you go, the harder it is to record. It
Right.
feels for many reasons.
Okay.
But the sound coming off those studio monitors
Was extraordinary.
Yeah. So,
Um,
like an idiot, I phoned up Sennheiser and they very thankfully did us a deal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Matt was using a couple of those.
Yeah.
those-
Sennheiser own Neumann, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Matt had a couple of these on. He was using 3 amps that day,
Yes, he was.
and when we're in the, what do you call it,
Yeah.
in front of the monitors, back in the isolated room,
Control room.
the control room. That's the one. It's been a long day. It sounded fantastic, So yes, we are going to whip those out. Hopefully.
Yeah, which isn't being flash, by the way. We'll explain this when we use them first. But I didn't buy them to be flash unnecessarily because they are quite expensive. I mean, they're not expensive for Neumann, but they're expensive microphones, and they're large diaphragm capacitor mics, which is, normally you'd use a dynamic or a ribbon on a guitar amp. But when I heard them through those monitors, I heard Matt's amp.
Yeah.
So we're on TPS we're
Which
not.
was your amp?
Oh yeah, sorry, my amp. We're not necessarily after like the best recorded sound that you can mix in a record. We're after what does it sound like?
Exactly. Yeah,
So
exactly.
for that reason, we're going to give them a go and see how they sound.
Yeah.
And they're Neumanns, which makes me happy. Never owned a Neumann mic before.
Really? They look like, what's the big vocal one that everyone did? The UA.
Yeah, it looks like a Telefunken U47.
That's the one, U47. It looks like a miniature version of that. It's very cool.
Yeah. Well, the TLM 103, which is the bigger one, is the industry standard broadcast mic. So if you're listening to BBC radio, you're hearing one of those.
Do you have any of those? What
No.
ones have you got?
AKG C414XLs, which are up there.
Oh, cool.
Do you know what? Microphones are almost as addictive as guitar pedals.
Really?
Yeah.
No, don't believe it.
I'm amassing a stupid number of mics for someone who doesn't do much recording.
Wow.
Well, actually, we are.
Apparently, I'm also amassing
part owner of a nice microphone collection, Daniel.
fabulous.
Right, come on then.
Where else are we? So that happened. The cloth's gone up.
And then we just came in and, I mean, obviously there was all the other stuff, so like the office,
Yeah.
which is shared with Catherine and my business just to help share some costs and stuff. So we have an office area, so when we have artists here, it feels nice, and that's all good. And then the T-shirt stuff gets done from here as well. It's been quite the...
It's been huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a listen then. Let's see what our ears can perceive.
Okay.
There might be a whole load of stuff that we've missed, and if we have missed anything, that'll get cut in about now. Okay, Tuesday night, I don't know,
9:10.
9:10. Okay, oh, blimey, O'Reilly. Simon's not with his family. He's here. We've just got the thing coated in black theatre cloth. We've put up these 2 very rudimentary lights just to see what we're looking at so that we can position stuff and get it lit properly. That's what the background's going to look like, kind of. By the time you see it on the show, it'll look very different. And this is a monumental moment to get to this point where we're actually pointing a camera, turning some lights on, and just seeing what it's going to look like. So tomorrow morning, Dan's going to turn up, and we're going to try and film something tomorrow. Before he turns off, massive thank you to Simon for being here and doing all this. Long days, bloody amazing. Right, monumental point where Dan has arrived. We're going to try and film today. And here we have the pedals. And about to go onto those pedal shelves. Don't worry about the lighting. Dan, how are you feeling?
Oh, really excited. Everything's starting to come together, and I just cannot believe how cool this looks. Funnily enough, until we started putting these things together, we really didn't have any idea how this was going to look. And we put the first one of these things together, and then just the look of steel and the dark wood, and then we were thinking we're going to have to paint these, but then everything just sort of married together, and it's like, it just looks so great. I'm really, really chuffed.
Yeah, obviously very harshly lit at the moment, so don't judge that. You'll see it when it's all lit properly, as and when we start filming. There it is. The first pedal on that pedal shelf, Dan, is the
Effectrode PC2A optical compressor.
Cue a million comments saying, why don't you ever feature the Effectrode PCA blah 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 compressor?
There is no good reason. It's a really fantastic compressor. I think Phil Taylor has updated this, so this one needs a mod, so I'm going to send it back to Phil and get that updated.
Say it with more drama, Dan. I've got some lens flare going on behind you.
He's updated the PC2A. Yeah, so I'll get that sent back to Phil and he'll get that sorted out. But I use this for ages. It's really fantastic. Davey G uses one of these as well, or has used.
David Grissom.
Actually, David Grissom. Funnily enough, I was having a conversation with someone about Effectrode pedals the other day, and we need to get some stuff on there. His tube vibe is spectacular.
And actually, the new Victory preamp pedals are going to come out soon, so why don't we get one of Phil's preamps on as well, the Blackbird or something like that people keep asking about.
Now, I've just put my hot cup of coffee down on our new thing, and so far there is no ring.
As you've probably seen in a previous video, it was very carefully sanded and stained. These are to be used, and I hope they look shabby within not very long. Anyway, there we go. Yet another momentous step on the, whatever we end up calling it, that pedal Barney workshop utopia. Right, more later.
Bit of Mickey magic, playing with his spigots.
I was just saying to Daniel, it's hard to put into words how much things working properly means to me. Look at this, look. Oh, look at that. Oh, just tight enough, not too tight. It's not going anywhere. It's lovely. It's beautiful. It makes me a happy person. Do you remember all those hissy fits I used to have at that pedal shed because bits wouldn't fit together and they wouldn't? Look at this, clamps made of metal. Yes. Okay, so we've taken a step or two forward. We've started to light. We're going for a slightly moodier look than we had in that pedal shed.
Moody.
We still don't know what we're going to call it. The best we've come up with so far is that new pedal shed. In the spirit of Spinal Tap. Well, they were the new originals, or there already was a new original, so we became the Thamesmen, or whatever it was. And yes, it's very exciting. It's starting to look like a place of tone.
Mega. These are 3 amps that we've used on the show quite a lot, so let's just see if we recognise them. That's the Vox. I want to hear that with a little bit of Manticore.
See what's really interesting is all the high frequencies sound different to me.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, because of the way things are reflecting.
When we first had that when I first plugged in an amp here, you walked in and says, "Is your treble all the way up?"
Yeah. He was Dan was playing Butters, and I asked him if it sounded to me like it was knocked off a tiny bit because
Yeah.
you're not getting those high-end reflections.
Okay, so that was the AC. That's the Deluxe, Hot Rod Deluxe. It's so cool because dead, nothing, and you just hear the trails from the reverb in the amp, nothing moving around. It's so cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see us having some panels.
Really? Okay,
Maybe.
all right.
That's the difference between mine and your guitar. Holy moly! I'm just going to turn this up a sec. I'll turn it back down again, but. Just going to turn the bright on. I'm perceiving more bottom end as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder what that is. Maybe it's not being absorbed in the same way. I'm going to introduce a new concept even to myself.
Okay.
It seems like the room has got more headroom.
So, the larger space and the less, there's a term for it, but I've
It's volumetric something or other, is it?
yeah, because you've got you've got a fundamental in every room, that which is and that frequency, and that's depending on the size and but the larger room, the more space the sound wave's got to move.
Yeah.
So
Simon's cousin Dom came down just to help us on a very, very sort of, initial 2-second analysis. Tell us if we could or couldn't record in this room.
right,
And he said, weirdly, because the end walls you've got old stone barn walls and then plasterboard on both sides. He reckons they're basically natural bass traps.
really,
So Simon and I were saying, I wonder if we're going to have to put in like bass traps in the corners, which you've often got to do in a recording room.
right.
It's like, you might not have to, because these things probably because they're huge voids, and that level of knowledge is...
Yeah, I would love to look into that, because that's fascinating.
Yeah, I wonder if you had that level of knowledge where you would never be able to listen to anything again and enjoy it.
Do you know anyone that has perfect pitch?
No, we've had this conversation before.
Yeah. So I when I was doing my my course at the conservatorium in Queensland, there were 2 students there, a brother and sister, that had perfect pitch,
Oh, no.
and listening to music for them was a nightmare.
Yeah.
If it was out at all, it was really painful.
It is tough. It's tough. I'm quite glad I don't have it, actually.
Touche, good sir.
That reminds me, I haven't
The open
touched. The open mic. That's exactly what I was going to say. I haven't touched a guitar since we filmed the wet dry thing, and then I think I can't remember what day it was, but then the following Sunday I went and did an open mic at my dad's place,
Right.
and that's the last time I touched a guitar, which was over
Really?
2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, sorry, that just reminded me of the open mic night. It does my head in.
Yeah. And because of the clarity now, it's that.
Yeah, I don't, heaven forbid that I'd be rude about anybody, but there was one guy playing and his guitar was literally that far out of tune. And because I helped my dad run this thing, and he was just sort of getting ready to play, so I said, I'll help you out. I've got a headstock tuner. I'll put it on there. Tuned his guitar, and he said, I can't hear any difference.
Can I say? So we had a Tin Spirits gig on Sunday night in Swindon, and the old tunes from the old albums are done in E flat, and the new tunes are writing are done in concert. So I got Butters in concert and Red in E flat.
I know what's coming.
And I picked up the wrong guitar, right? And we started playing Frankenstein, Edgar Winter tune, right? So the boys start with this. Whoa, hang on, what was that?
I've turned the Hot Rod Deluxe up.
Oh, hang on.
There you go. Let me turn it down a bit. It's a long way to the amps now.
Yeah, right.
That's the other thing. We've come forward quite a long way, and everything's. It's so odd.
So the boys start playing. I start playing. Together you get. Oh man.
I know lots of people that would like that, but not in that song.
And I couldn't believe I wanted to die. And Mark, the bass player, goes, stop.
Like you did when you were 14, stop the song, the whole band.
And then I thought, that is the worst thing that I could do, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Then we did Moby Dick, right? Straight after that, so the other guitar player in the band is Dave Gregory from XTC. And straight after that, we were doing Towers of London. So Towers of London starts with an F. Of course, I forgot to tune up the E string, and I start playing. Twice in one night. Twice in one night.
Oh, awesome.
Spectacular tuning mishaps. Couldn't believe it. But there you go.
It's a beautiful thing.
Anyway.
Where were we? We were listening to pedals. We were listening to the Hot Rod. We haven't heard the Junior yet.
Okay.
The Blues Junior. Now I'm doing it. You'll have to bear with us. We very nearly didn't film this week. I was getting all depressed about Monday going, no way. There is no way we're going to be ready. We're just going to have to go off the air for a few weeks.
But you've powered through.
Well,
I've been here a fraction of the time that you have, and every time I've turned up, I've gone, oh, what's Mick done today? It's been great. All right, so the Blues Junior.
Yeah. Come on, get in.
I was just trying that with a little bit of the Bad Bob boost. Oh, great.
Just in case we're in danger of imparting any useful knowledge this week, that is a perfect example of why something like a booster like that works so well into a low headroom amp. Mm-hmm. If that was hitting my 2-rock, it would sound... Oh, it still sounds good, actually, but it would just increase the level a lot.
Yeah.
And it would sound really spiky. But that, it just... set like it... That's why I bent over to have a look at it, because if you'd hit a high headroom amp with that pedal set like that, you get a huge kick. Yeah, It sounds good, but that just pushed it into more niceness. Have a listen to this. This poor guitar has not been out of the case for a month.
Ah.
I know. And as a result, it feels all Gibson casey. Any Gibson owners will know what that is.
That's Nitro Gibson Casey as well.
Yeah, it's kind of it's just a bit kind of Gibson casey. Not only has it not been out of the case for a month, it hasn't been tuned for
Here we
a
go.
month. Here we go.
Seriously, that's not been tuned?
Nope.
Wow.
Can you add one of the other amps for a second?
Yes, I can.
Or both of them?
Oh, all of them. There you go. And the...
A little bit of tuning wavering there.
Get in.
I definitely like it louder and with more.
Really?
Yeah, maybe that's the epitaph.
Sure.
Okay, we're knackered.
We're done.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Which is not a downer. It's just we wanted to share with you some of what it's taken to get to this point, which has been. I'm broken. Like my hands are falling apart.
You're getting mystery cuts.
Last night, I knew it was time to stop when I was cutting some strengthening rods to go underneath those amp shelves, using aforementioned metal saw. I had goggles on, worried about the old eyes and gloves, obviously.
You donned the denim suit and everything. You
Well, I
look
did.
spectacular.
I overalls when we did the other stuff, but last night I was in a hurry and it was kind of about 10:30 p.m. and I was tired and I wanted to go home, but I just really wanted to get those shelves done so that we could get the amps on today. Anyway, I'm merrily, my eyes closed, just in case a metal filing happens to go inside
What were you
the
cutting?
metal bars
supports.
that
Okay,
go underneath
right.
the... Anyway, cut through the thing, sparking a bit, like it would when you cut metal. And I looked down, my arms are bleeding because I got little aluminium metal things all in my arms. I thought, right, stop, go home, sleep a bit, and see if we could get something filmed today.
Okay.
So,
Well, there we go, guys.
yeah,
Here we are.
it's a sort of a whimper into the...
Yeah. But it's look, it's been with any luck, we won't have missed a Friday.
Yep.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, because that was looking really likely.
That was looking dodgy.
And not only was it looking likely, if we missed today, Simon's going on holiday.
Right. For how long?
2 weeks.
Right.
So we'd have missed
3 weeks.
Yeah. There's a danger of us missing 1 week, but I think we can get out and do something on location maybe.
Okay.
Anyway, so we didn't want to miss. We wanted to share with you a little bit of background on the new place. And, why don't we cheers to auspicious times ahead? For anyone wondering where the hell's the band going to go, there is more room in here and we'll reconfigure for that as and when we do it. So
Brilliant.
well done, mate.
Cheers, buddy. Well done to you. And thank you, Simon. Thank you, Catherine. And here's to the new era.
Thank you to our preferred retailers.
Yes. In the UK and Europe is...
Anderton's Music of Guildford, Surrey, who I hope I get a text message from Lee or Pete going, oh, your new place looks really nice.
Ah, that'd be nice.
Rather than...
That'd be nice,
"What
Leo
have you-
Pete. That'd
what
be
have-
lovely.
What have you done? In the USA it is...
Riv City Music. Last week, because we filmed the show so late, well, the show that you saw last week, we filmed so late, we called Riv City Pedal Empire. We did. So
Yeah.
apologies to Riff City Music.
Oh, I think it's Riff City Guitar as well.
Okay. Okay. It's Riff City Guitar. Our friends in New Hope, Minnesota. Hopefully we'll get out there again this year.
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be great. They're great guys, such a great shop. And in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia.
Pedal Empire, Matt and the gang down there. Hello and thank you.
Yes. Want to also thank to everyone that's gone to our store, thatpedalshowstore.com, and purchased a
Bits of
t-shirt,
wood,
bits of wood,
glue, paint, metal.
basically anything from Bunnings.
Yeah, you've helped keep Bunnings open a day or two longer.
Yes, but thank you guys. We really appreciate it. You enable us to do what we do. And also massive thank you to all of our patrons on
Yep.
Patreon.
Same story for you guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Cheers,
you very
guys.
much.
We really appreciate it. Fantastic. Okay.
Triumphant.
Yeah, so that's going to have a nap.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into the next show. Cheers, guys. Have a great week. See you next week. Cheers, guys. Bye.